Hello, welcome to my stream again. So, since I've finished uh, my commission, I decided I should finish off my Tau Pathfinders. They're pretty much done. It's just I got a few finishing touches I have left to do on them. Because there's a bit of white I have to do there on the pouch. And while I'm doing this, I am just going to be listening to the Golden Joystick Awards. It won't be on the stream, but I will be listening to it. Once I'm finished with the little bit of stuff I need to do for these Pathfinders, I'm going to be starting work on painting some of my Daughters of Cain that I've had for a while. So whenever I'm painting white on something, the base coat that I use is Celestra Gray, since it has a better it's easier to apply than like Corax White. Just gonna be moving this around just to get a better view. I gotta get a new thing for this, or buy a what is it called? Like a webcam, a decent webcam. Oh, no, I'm loosening it. Okay, this should be good. Oh, this is perfect. Hopefully I just don't hit the phone with my arm. But I still do it even with if it isn't like that. So I think the only stuff is the white on the pouches and the gun that I need to do. Probably do like a highlight for the gold here. Okay, let's pull out the So I'm just pretty much gonna do a base coat of Retributor, or just not a base coat. Just re-highlight it up to with Retributor armor. And just so I can get back the shininess after the shade. Clair Obscure 1 best storytelling? I still have yet to play that. I have too many games that I'm currently playing. I'm just trying to 100% the Digimon story, Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. And I'm almost done, but I missed one collectible, so now I have to go back through the entire game. And since the collectibles don't carry over, sort of stuck having to re-pick up every single collectible. Well, all of the memory collectibles for Hacker's Memory. Oh, doesn't look like there's any white on here that I need to paint, just the gold for the rivet, or whatever, gyro? It feels like these things would spin when they shoot. What else do I gotta play? I'm trying to 100% Final Fantasy VII Remake before I play Rebirth. And I'm almost done that. I just gotta beat the game on hard mode, which is a bit more annoying than I would like. And then what else? There's the Pride and Joy prototype, which is like a super boss at the end, which I'm not very keen on fighting. Oh, I guess I gotta do the blue on his little scouter. Let's do that quickly. Calidor Sky. I wanted a nice bright blue. Actually, where's my... No, that's a ninja rat. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, I guess I used the... This is the old Dark Strider mini, and it looks like I used the contrast paint over his thing, which I don't really want to use for here. Best audio design, Ghost of Yotei, which is I also got to play because I already 100%ed Ghost of Tsushima. Battlefield 6. My computer cannot run Battlefield 6. So my friends are playing it, but I can't really. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not really interested in playing that. Kinda done with Nintendo. Death Stranding 2. I've yet to beat the first Death Stranding. It's also on my list. Not 2 Point Museum. Not really interested in that. Chronos the New Dawn. I don't even know what game that is. Ghost of Yotei, Best Audio Design. So I'm just for the these are the colors that I'm using. I don't really know how I'm trying to paint this. I got a message. Nope. No, I did not. This is fine. I'll leave it like that. But he has a little healing thing that I gotta paint. See. So, where is it? Oh, okay, so it's a very bright blue. You know what? I think this is where I will use the contrast. So, I'm just going to put Korax White on it for the base. And then go over it with the, what is it, Aethermatic Blue contrast. Let's see, best multiplayer game. So nominees are Battlefield 6, Peak, which is a good game. Me and my friends enjoy playing that. Elden Ring Night Rain. Computer would explode if I try to play that. Split Fiction. My friend and I played their first game, It Takes Two. Mario Kart World. Haven't played that. Not really interested in buying it. Rematch. A soccer game. Not too much into sports games. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. Peak 1. Good job on them. it not focusing very well? Sorry if it's been weird, like if it's just been out of focus. I should probably move the light also. Let's see. Is that also blue? No, the bottom part isn't blue. Little canister on his hip is. I don't know what this would be. I think I'll just leave that. So we got the blue light there. Oh shoot, he has his little thing on his arm that I need to paint. Looks like I could paint that. Okay. Let's see. Ethermatic. Always gotta give contrast paints a good shake. Looks like he's finished. Clean up any paint I took out. so we're on to Best Visual Design. Death Stranding 2. Clair Obscure. Don't think there's anything I got. Oh, yep, there is. Midnight Walk. Ghost of Yote. Sword of the Sea. Sword of the Sea looks a lot like Journey, which makes me somewhat interested in it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Best visual design goes to Expedition 33. Oh shoot, their hair! How many of them have hair? 2 of them? Okay, I need to separate them out. I don't think there's any other white or gold though. Oh shit, oh, I dropped it. I think that's all the gold I need. Paint the white on his gun. Maybe I won't go back over this with white scar. Depends on how it turns out when it dries, I guess. Just the gold. If the music's too loud, tell me. I'm just trying to get a nice, like a good balance. Because I looked at one of the videos that I exported to YouTube, and the music was very quiet. I don't know if it was YouTube doing that because it's a copyrighted song. Are these nominations for expansions? Seems like it. I have no idea about any of these expansions, so I don't really have an interest in playing them. Liza P. Overture won the award. Oh shoot, I don't know what I should paint this little ball, the trackpad. The little ball that he's using to control the drones. I can paint it blue. Red is for visors and lenses, so I don't want to paint it that. And I think it would look weird if it was the desert color. But it's not really like an energy equipment. It's literally just a little ball. This doesn't really look right. The ochre color won't look right either. I'm gonna feather this out a little bit. Having it blue looks fine. Shoot. Hollow Knight Silksong for indie game. So these are the next categories, the indies, or the self-published. So Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Sword of the Sea. This color looks fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it with that blue. Peak. Keep Driving. Huh, I've never heard of that game. Spilled. Only Mounted Snowriders. And Deltarune. Consume Me? Promise Mascot Agency. Huh. So many of these games I haven't heard of. Okay, Hollow Knight Silksong. Okay, just listening to see what the volume is like. Oh, there's a little bit of white on that I missed on his... I should probably paint these white also. Or not white, gold. Don't feel like going back over it. I'll just leave it as is. Okay, might as well go over it with white scar. See, best indie game. Blueprints. Citizen Sleeper 2. Haven't heard of that game. Wanderstop. I've seen my friend play a demo of this. Hurdling. Oh, blueprints 1. Nice. And I think that's it. I need to go over all of them again to make sure. Oh wait, no, there was somebody had teeth because his mouth was open. You. I need a smaller brush. That does not look good. Where's Fenrising? Great. Do a little bit of touch up. No, I better. I don't think you guys want to listen to this music or that song. It's a good song to listen to though. Eh, good enough. Kinda wanna be done with this. Which is not really it's somewhat good and bad view to have on the miniatures. Okay, I think that's... Do another look over. So here's the marksman. I don't think I missed anything. I would like to... let's get a better... Like, put some color in between this part. But I don't think I need to. I don't know what this guy's supposed to be. Let's see. This guy seems like he's like the interference, just because of the big thing right here. It looks like I painted everything. That's painted. Oh yeah, their hair. So he's gotta still be painted. Could probably do a little bit of touch up. Where did I put the... There it is. Fenders in gray just to touch up this spot where I was doing the eyes. Oh, so they have hair. I think yeah, I should probably paint that so he still has stuff to paint. I think he's finished. He's finished. Yep. I guess I can do highlights for his bionic arm. Oh, he has hair. I think that's... Yeah, that's all he needs is his hair. He should be finished. Yeah, okay, so just... Don't even know what color to put them, to paint them. Why are you here? What was I missing on you? You shouldn't be here. So just these three. Should I just do it black? See how Griffon Orange looks on this. No, I got some orange on the white. A little bit of orange onto the backpack. That should be fine. I think the other two will just do Black Templar. Best early access game, Repo 1. Yeah, Repo's a good game. Oh, you know what I could use? I could have just did brown with one of them. Oh well. Should the hair ornaments be gold? I have no idea. Eh. Sure, gold it is. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, even they have hair ornaments. Oh, let's start getting to work on the bases. You're done. Yeah, that one will work. These ones might be too big, but we'll see. A little hair. Fuzz. All these rocks are a bit too big. Oh, they gave mobile their own category for still playing. That's funny. Pokemon Go 1's still playing, but I literally don't hear anyone talk about Pokemon Go. I guess it's not my friend circle. Satisfactory is a nomination for still playing for PC? Huh. Oh, hello Dobby's diorama. Yeah, I'm just pretty much I finished painting all the squad. I'm just doing the basing. Yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry, I didn't read. Used to play and paint Necron certain years ago, and ads? Oh no. Oh, never mind about the ads though. Yeah, I don't know how to turn the ads completely off, and I don't even think you can. So they're just there. Yeah. I think it's only if like the ads are annoying, like the ad itself is annoying, but that's not really the stream's fault. It's more of like, can people just make not annoying ads? Oh shit. Something's losing focus. Let's see. Yeah. Or you turn on a video, it plays like a minute ad, and then you're like, okay, let's click through the video, and then it just immediately goes to another ad because you clicked maybe 5 minutes into the video. I haven't hit any 2-minute unskippable ads, luckily. I did get like a few 2-hour ads, but they were skippable. So if I'm not paying attention, they just play like an entire concert. I'm like, why? Or of like hour-long videos. I'm like, this is just wild. Yeah, I'm a Northern Canadian. I think it's something's making the camera lose focus. It's probably this. Should move it off to the side. Oh, nice. There we go. I'm watching the Game Awards while doing this. I don't even know what category they're on, but it sounds like the Oblivion. Oh, Best Remake Remaster, Oblivion. Okay, yeah. I haven't played that. God, there's just too many games I gotta play. Too bad there isn't an easier way to get all the spacing paste down quickly without getting it all over the mini. Oh, we don't need the bot in here. 1 second. How the hell? How the hell do I remove it again? Oh, there we go. There we go. Best game adaptation into movies, but for one nominee is Devil May Cry. Arcane, that's pretty decent. I don't like what they did to Victor, but sure. Secret level was pretty good. I really enjoyed Secret level. Oh. Yeah, Arcane Season 2 was pretty good. So they won. I keep hitting that. Should probably put a rock on this one. Probably put a big rock. Let's put a little bit more basic pace just to hold it down. That's too big. Yeah, that one will do. Oh, they're making an Expanse third-person shooter, huh? Hello, Powerless. Thank you for the follow. I didn't realize the follow thing disappears so quickly, that's why I didn't notice it for a bunch of times. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Final Fan. I don't know what Final Fantasy was from, but I'm pretty sure it was the Dissidia. It was like a Dissidia remake. Like a Dissidia remix of this track. This one is Final Fantasy 14. Unless yeah. Learning all about painting Tau? Okay, so it really just depends on your color scheme. Like, do you have any idea on what your color scheme might be for your Tau? No, just missed a little bit there. Because if you're painting Tau, if you have access to an airbrush, that really helps to get the smoother armor, but it's not necessary. Because if you're just starting, you probably don't. Maybe a friend has an airbrush. But pretty much what you want is to try to get somewhat smooth armor. Well, I guess it also depends on what you're going for. Maybe you're going for more of a rough look, where they've been in the field for a long time. Because my armor was airbrushed with the Tau Light Ochre. And then I made a mix of, I think it's Fireslayer Flesh and Agora Stoons. So 1-to-1 mix of that. And then just did a recess shade. Doing recess shades allows the brighter base color to not get like coffee stained. But If you're just starting, you probably don't really want to worry about that. Because you do have to, it does take a lot of time to do recess shading compared to regular shading. Okay, main body, darker than Enclave red. Accents are going to be gray with red sensors. So here's my Farsight's Enclaves. And if you're going to be darker, because they use corn red for their armor. Yeah, that's a burgundy color. Gal Vorbak red? Maybe you're... I don't know what paint you're using, but I'm just going to be going by Games Workshop. So Gal Vorbak does have a darker color compared to corn red. But yeah, so with a lot with Tau is you want to get the edge highlights to make it nice clean armor if you're trying to make nice clean armor. With the fatigues, you don't really have to worry. It depends if they're characters, but I just used Wildwood contrast paint for the fatigues here. It's not neat. Classic night camo. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah. Oh, thank you. So, with how I did these is airbrushed recess shade, and then did an edge highlight of one higher. So edge highlighted just to keep the nice clean look of the armor. For all the black, I used contrast paint just to get a bit. Oh, I didn't even finish that paint part right there. 1 second. I guess we can go. So, these are the 3 paints that I use for my armor. And I mostly use GW paints just because they're the easiest to come across for me. Oh. An airbrush isn't really like for starting, it's not completely necessary. Oh no, that's the wrong paint. I need to get a base coat down. So like yeah, so here's a bit of black that I didn't paint, so you gotta do somewhat thin coats. You don't want to put too much on, or else you'll start losing detail and maybe adding little lumps of like globs of paint. So yeah, there's the base coat of the XV88. Once that's dry, I'll be going to do a base coat of Tau Light Ochre, and then edge highlighting. Oh, I already placed down. For the metallics, so the only metallics I have on him are this, and I'm using Retributor armor. So that is pretty much just a base coat of Retributor armor and then a shade of Agrax Earthshade. And the shade paints are like very thinned down paints that are almost watery that just try to get into the recesses on their own. But if you do an all-over shade, it'll sort of like tint the surface of wherever it is into that color. So it was Retributor armor as a base coat, Agrax Earthshade all over the little rivet, and then I went back over it with Retributor armor just to get the metallic sheen back into it. And I'm assuming this is dry now. So yeah. It'll take a bit to get used to of learning what consistency you want your paints. One thing I do recommend is a wet palette, just because it increases the time that your paints will survive before they dry out on the palette. And they sort of like self-thin. A bunch of times I don't. If I'm doing just small parts, I don't really thin. I just go with whatever the consistency is after I put it on the wet palette. I've been in the hobby maybe 5, 6, 7 years, I don't know. I started out painting the Star Wars Imperial Assault miniatures. So here's my edge highlight. And then it's not as fancy, but once you get the edge highlight, it sort of does start to stick out a bit more. And that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing for that little bit. Yes. What I do to strip my model is I use 99% isopropyl alcohol. But there's a bunch of other stuff that you can use. You can do, there's a cleaning agent, something green. I forget what it was called. But I found the isopropyl alcohol works really well. Simple green, that's it. So it doesn't matter. This when stripping them, you'll probably the glue holding it together probably will give way. That probably helps sometimes. When handling resin, I always recommend resin and metal miniatures. I always recommend cleaning them. Take a little like bowl or something, put some soap and warm water in it, so it's like warm soapy water, and then let the miniature sit for a little bit. Take a toothbrush and scrub it down a little bit, because resin and metal miniatures sometimes have releasing agents still on them from the factory, and if you put paint on it, it'll just peel off. And it would be absolutely awful if you do a good job on a Mini, and then you start watching the paint peel off because you didn't clean it. And painting is just a lot of trial and error. Watch a lot of videos. Watch people's techniques, learn them, and then try to like mix and match techniques that you like. Because some people use slap chop, which is very quick. So you spray the model black, and you take a dry brush with a gray, do a heavy dry brush all over, and then you do a dry brush of white, but just lightly, or maybe a little more heavier, but just so that you have the dark recesses with the lighter edges. And then they would use contrast paints. But I don't really like that technique, so I don't really use it. But maybe I'll start doing that on like horde armies. It's like if I'm trying to paint 100 Skaven, maybe I'll just cave and start doing the quick way. I don't recommend buying really good brushes right away. Buy some brushes that you're fine with like damaging until you learn how to take care of brushes. I started off with like $3 brushes from art store. And then once I got better and got sick of the $3 brushes being not very great, I then started getting the Games Workshop brushes, which are alright. They're just more expensive and not really great for what they are. Not really great for their price. But I've been enjoying the Army Painter brushes. And there's some GW brushes that I do like. Yeah. Okay. They're decent brushes. Don't worry about getting the expensive sable brushes yet. Like I have one sable brush and I barely use it. I also recommend... Oh, prime with airbrush? Yes. Vallejo does some airbrush primers that you can also just brush on if there's like one small thing you need to you need to prime. They're good. That's the primer I use for all of my smaller stuff. If there's anything large like a tank or a building, I do recommend getting the rattle can primers. Just because the airbrush primer is a little bit more delicate than the rattle cans. I recommend also paint. So, say you buy a box of 10 Fire Warriors. I recommend painting one Fire Warrior to completion before you do anything with your other minis, so that you can have a full realization of what you want to do with the model. Or maybe you find an easier way after you finish painting that one model of doing certain colors. Yeah, the new holiday box is pretty good. I already have the Farsight model that it comes with, so it's not really a savings for me if I get anything from it. And the new XV26 suits, so far they've only released in like the kill team thing with the Space Wolves. So about half the price of that box is probably like $60 Canadian, $60-$70 Canadian. So as long as you're not paying like $100 for that stealth suit, it's probably, it sucks, but it's probably a little bit better than buying the dual box. No, that doesn't fit. Yeah, they probably picked up a box and are trying to upsell them a little bit. So those boxes are good if you have a friend that's playing the other faction, so you just split the box. Oh shit. Oops. Ow. Ooh. Was it less or more? uh, yeah, they'll be releasing on their own. It does take a while. It is a few months. Oh, nice. Yeah, the new stealth suits are really good models. I haven't painted them because I still have my old stealth suits. I do want to pick them up though. I just don't have the time to build and paint them. I have too many other stuff to paint. Uh, on certain things I've magnetized. I have a ghost keel, and I magnetized the gun on the right. I haven't magnetized any of the crisis suits. I've magnetized the gun on the Riptide. When I get around to my crisis suits, I'll probably try to break off their weapons and magnetize them. I don't want to get into magnetization just because sometimes if the models get too close, the magnets will start moving them around. Because when I was playing Blood Bowl, someone put magnets in the bottom of their bases just so that they can put the ball onto it. And then when they would put their guy beside another of their guy, they would both magnetize to each other. Also, it's just more money you have to buy in order to put magnets. If it's a really big model, and with a big gun, that's why I magnetized the Ghost Keel and my Riptide, is because those are kits I probably won't have very many of. But the crisis suits are such a staple that you'll probably be getting a decent amount of them. It will be cheaper to get magnets than getting a whole other box of crisis. So if you're trying to save money, put a little time in and magnetize all the weapons. But I'm not much of a what you see is what you get player. So if I just don't have the people modeled with the guns, I'll just say, oh, FYI, these guys have missile pods instead of plasma guns. If it's infantry models, don't. Luckily with Tau, the only thing you have to worry about is the railguns and the the ion rifles. I I wouldn't. Just tell your opponent that they're the other weapon. Crisis suits are probably the largest I would go for magnetize. Or the smallest. Yeah, glad it could be helpful. Yeah, every time I look at what people are painting, I see a lot of Marines or Chaos. Or a lot of Gunpla, which is cool. Once I'm done getting the basing paste on here, I can show you the other Tau stuff that I've finished. I think, yeah, the Ghost Kill is probably one of the best kits I've built. Like, it's well made. It's a lot of fun to build. I think Shadow Sun is new enough that it won't get a remake. It'll probably be a long time before Shadow Sun gets another model. Luckily, since we're not playing Space Marines, we don't have to worry about all of our characters getting a remake every year. The only things you gotta watch out for is if the character you want to get is a resin or metal, because if they are, then they'll most likely be the next one getting a remake. But I don't think Tau have any more resin or metal, like resin or metal playable or purchasable stuff. Okay, now that all the basing paste is done there, let's see, what do I have anywhere close? So here is my ethereal on hover drone. I think this is one of the first Tau stuff I painted. He's still sort of doing the same thing I did with the Pathfinders, where I airbrushed in the base coat. A recommendation for white: if you're doing white armor, like with a sort of, if you're painting Shadow Sun, I recommend using your airbrush to paint that. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, shoot, I forgot one more thing. Okay, yeah, so that's my ethereal. Here's my Tau breachers. I painted them in the Farsight colors. So airbrushed it with the corn red. Took Nuln Oil and did a recess shade in all of the crevices. And then I did edge highlighting with the, I think it was Wazdaka red. Here's my stealth suits. If you're painting white, I recommend doing a base coat of Celestra gray, or any type of gray that, let's see. So this is the paint I use if I'm ever going to do white. So I'll do Celestra gray, and then do a layer of Ulthuan gray, and then white scar. So I don't touch washes when I paint white, because it will just make the white very dirty looking. So yeah, base coating with Celestra gray and just layering up is good for small things, sort of like this antenna on the head or helmets. So here are my two Farsights. So this is the old resin Farsight right here. It still holds up, it's just that he's much smaller than his new one. I did try to do a little bit of blue in their thrusters. Yeah, this new model is very nice. Here's the Shadow Sun. I don't have the old one. I would like to try to find it, but it's not very good to look at. This was before I got decent at painting white. It still looks good, but I have new techniques for painting white. I think for the hair I just use a contrast paint. I use the, what was it, Jacaro Orange? No. The Gryph-hound Orange contrast paint, and I just did the contrast and then left it, because it looks nice. Here's my Cold Star Commander. So I did magnetize him. Oh, for the skin, I am using the Fang, the Rust Gray, and Fenrisian Gray. So this is the paints I use for skin tones for the Tau. I would put the base in. If you want it darker, like this guy, for this guy, I only did the base coat shaded and then did a little bit of edge highlighting just to make his like a darker skin tone compared to others. Whereas this one, I did a layer of rust gray in order to get a brighter skin tone. And if you want, sometimes you can put like a little bit of purple into this, like the Druchii violet shade on the skin, just to make it like to differentiate the skin. But yeah, so a lot of my suits I just airbrush and then airbrush, recess shade, edge highlight with the highlight color. With this suit I did magnetize, so you can see the magnet there, and then there's magnet up there, that little dot where my nail is. So if I ever get around to painting the weapons, I'll be able to magnetize them on. Here's my hammerhead. Thank you. A lot of the blending is just from the airbrush. The airbrush will help blends a lot. So like you can see right here, this is just from the airbrush, this little darker patch on the armor. And then this is the long strike model that they don't sell anymore. He's literally just a guy you stick in the cockpit, and it used to make a named hammerhead. I don't glue these in just because in case I want to swap them out. And a cool thing you can do with the turrets is I didn't glue them in, so with this kit will build the hammerhead and the sky ray. For the sky ray, I cut out little parts right here, and then took a bit of sprue. And let's see, let's get a brush to. So I took a bit of sprue and sort of stuck it like that, so that when, well, that it would have to be like that. So I'd stick it like that. Then I can put it in sideways so that it goes into here, so it gets keyed, and then rotate it, and it'll get held down. And then here's my Storm Surge. So these parts still move because just because of the kit. I think this is keyed also. So this is the thing I'm talking about with the hammerhead and Skyray. This was pre-built, so we didn't have to worry about this. But for the hammerhead, for the Skyray part, I put it on there myself, just so that we can swap out the turrets. I was able to allow the torso to rotate because since the pelvis is hollow, I drilled a hole into the connector and then took a bit of sprue. So I took a bit of metal. I cut it so that it sits sort of like on the top, and it's going through the torso like that, and this bit of sprue is holding it so it doesn't get pulled up. If the glue ever fails on this, then this is going to be able to come off, and then there's going to be a bit of sprue rattling around in here. And it's the same thing I did with the heads. So like, I did the same thing with the heads, so these can move. The Riptide, you probably could. The same thing with the Ghost Keel. I think the Ghost Keel can also do that. So yeah, and this is the Ghost Keel. I magnetized the gun. So just 2 magnets there, 2 magnets there. So don't do this unless, I did put magnets in here and cut off the little part right here just so I can remove the head. I shouldn't have done this, or I should have put a bigger magnet, because it's not really a strong connection. But the reason I can remove the reason I wanted to remove the head is because you can open up the cockpit. So if you didn't want to put the helmet on, you can have it walk around like that. So I didn't paint my Riptide. Yeah, with the head you can probably do that so the head rotates, and same thing with the waist. It's probably a little bit easier since it's a smaller area. I put a big magnet right there for the gun. Yeah, I didn't really do much for the Riptide. Yeah, that's sorta doable. I wonder? Okay, I did glue it in. Sometimes I don't glue in the heads, but I think I stopped doing that at some point. Yeah, you probably need a small magnet. And here's one of the Kroot that I've been painting. He's not finished yet. He's almost done, but he's not completely finished. Yeah, the Shadow Sun model has 3 head options. So there's this head, which is why I liked it, because of the flowing hair. It added a little bit more to the model. there's like the half helmet where she's wearing a visor with her hair in a bun, and then the fully helmeted option, which I'm kind of tempted to take that fully helmeted option and put it onto a different Tau model, because it is a nice helmet. It looks cool. While I have this down, do I still have it with me? Okay. So, this is the Vallejo primer. I use it in my airbrush, but this bottle started to clog the airbrush a lot. So I just decided to use this bottle as a brush-on primer. So yeah, if you're ever adding, what I usually do for my bases is I would prime the model and paint the model entirely, and then do the bases. So since I added the rocks to this base after the model was done, I can't really spray prime the rock. So I just take the primer and then just brush it on by hand. Just need to check my phone. Okay. Do I play the game? I have problems with the game, so I don't play it too often. But it's pretty much just not my cup of tea. I'm more if I would play a Games Workshop game, it would be Warhammer Underworlds, which is a smaller, like board game-esque version, for the Warhammer Fantasy, the Age of Sigmar stuff. Yeah, Games Workshop has pretty good models. I do enjoy painting them. I haven't tried Kill Team yet. I do want to. The only problem is a lot of people just stay with like Warhammer 40,000 and they don't really want to try any other game. Uh, I t- my streams are very random. I do want to stream more. Maybe once every couple days I'd stream. Sometimes I'll stream like eat once a day, but I really gotta do get down a schedule of when to stream. Because what it does help me paint paint a lot more. After I'm finished these, I probably won't be painting Tau for a little bit. I want to paint some of my other stuff. So I have a bunch of Daughters of Cain stuff that I'm painting for Age of Sigmar. Just trying to get through any of my backlog of painting. Yes, the pile of potential. There's a bunch of board games that I want to paint also. But with those I might just like try to quickly paint them just to get them to look nice on the tabletop. But I won't get into as much detail as I would with any of these. Unless they're really nice minis. I also have a bunch of terrain I need to paint. Oh yeah, that really nice ethereal that you can give them the different elements in with their incense cup or whatever they're holding. It's probably going to be expensive if you try to get it from like a second hand. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to super glue that down at some point. Not really holding on tight. Same thing with the, not that one, this big one on this guy. Time is 11:42. Because these are drying. You don't have any rocks. That's a finished old, that's the finished old, this is the old Dark Star model, or Darkstalker. He's pretty much just a Pathfinder now. This is just pretty much a Pathfinder model now. You know what, this guy has rocks. Well, they made a new Darkstar model, so I can grab that one. So here's the new one compared to the old Darkstar or Darkstalker. This one looks much better because this one was just like a regular Tau Pathfinder looking guy. But now with this model I can just essentially use him as a Pathfinder sergeant. But I also gotta go like, okay, which sergeant would I want to use? Yeah, I really like the drones. I kind of wish more models had these, like the small little drones. Mm-hmm. I actually didn't even paint those drones yet. I haven't been interested in painting any of the drones. At some point I probably will, just so I can get them all done.